will be reporting. So far, more than 632,000 Floridians have already voted through early and absentee voting. Now, to put that into perspective, that's more than the total number of people who voted in South Carolina's primary. Florida is a much different state. It is a huge state. But in ways that might actually surprise you, it's sort of different. John Avalon is out front to tell us the 3 myths about Florida voters.
That's right. You know, it is the political tiebreaker, but there's nothing traditional about the Sunshine State. So we thought we'd take 3 stereotypes and pierce those myths. First of all, it's the senior citizens rule. You know, it's the land of early bird specials, retirement communities, punctuated by amusement parks. But the fact is actually that only 17% of the state is senior citizens. That's just above the national average, and around 22% of the state's population is under 18. So this really is nowhere near that stereotype of sort of retirement community central. And in fact, 2 of the 5 youngest cities in America are in Florida, Gainesville and Tallahassee.
Gainesville and Tallahassee.
How about it?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now that already had me there. All right. Myth number 2.
Myth number 2.
The Cubans.
The Cubans, right? And this is certainly rooted in reality, like most stereotypes. You know, after Castro took over Cuba, a bunch of Cubans fled to southern Miami, and that is still a stronghold. Presidential candidates in the Republican primary, they pay homage to that community. But the reality is the state's character has really changed. It's now the capital of Latin America. And in fact, Cubans only make up just over 1/3 of the state's total Hispanic population. Beneath that, you've got Puerto Ricans, of course, fellow Americans, Mexicans, Dominicans, and others. So really, even though Hispanics are now going to make
look at other. That's amazing.
Well, that's
other
really
Hispanic
Latin
from
America,
other places,
Central America.
Yeah.
You get that major. This is a stable place for those communities to invest their money, raise their families. So you have a totally different dynamic. 11% of voters in the Republican primary on Tuesday are expected to be Hispanic. But overall, more Hispanic Floridians are Democratic than Republican.
All right. That, I guess, would fit with many stereotypes.
That's right.
But all right, myth number 3, the typical Florida voter. Now, you've already gotten rid of the Hispanic myths. You've already gotten rid of the senior citizens. So what am I left with on the typical Florida voter?
There is no typical. That's the secret. That's the big reveal. But really, it's 10 media markets. I mean, this state is so fundamentally different. And what's fascinating is, you know, the old red state, blue state stereotype. This state is red state, blue state, and swing state all combined.
I like
Up in the north, from Panhandle to Jacksonville. That's really the part of the deep south. It's culturally part of Alabama and Georgia. You get to the middle of the state, that I-4 corridor. This is the legendary swing part of the state. From Space Coast to Orlando to Tampa, St. Pete. A lot of families moving in for jobs. So this is where the elections are won or lost. And then the southern part of the state, northeastern transplants, certainly a huge Hispanic community, tends to trend Democratic. So it really belies every single stereotype.
I like that it's not red or blue. It's red, white, and blue. It's just truly American.
How about it,
There you
Florida?
go. All right.